Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the International Great Black Read Aloud Day. My name is LD Robinson, and I am reading today. Here at the International Great Black Read Aloud Day, we are giving voice to words written by Black people all around the world. And in doing so, we want to introduce all the different genres of literature um, that Black people write about and that we excel in, and broaden our horizons as we promote literacy. And as the Fresh Book Festival says, literacy is a legacy, and we are promoting literacy through reading. So we are reading all month. We're on day 3, and it is Sports Day. And so I will be reading today from Whirlwind, The Godfather of Tennis by author Doug Smith. I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Smith at Fresh Book Festival this year. And so I saw this particular book and purchased it. I purchased it mainly from my father, who is a tennis lover. And so I am going to read, I learned something with this book. And so I am going to read the chapter called Aiding Althea. And today we're reading from Whirlwind, The Godfather of Black Tennis. Sitting high in the bleachers, the two well-dressed doctors watched lanky Althea Gibson battle little Romania Peters in the ATA National Women's Final. Occasionally, they spoke to one another in hushed tones, as if they were devising a treatment plan for a patient. In a sense, Whirlwind, also who is Dr. Robert Walter Johnson, that's his nickname, Whirlwind and Dr. Eaton were indeed collaborating on a prescription designed to rescue 18-year-old Althea from the crime-infested streets of Harlem. Whirlwind said to me, "You know, Hubert, I wish we could do something to help that girl, Althea," Eaton said. "She's a good tennis player, but she's not going to amount to much doing what she's doing now, hanging around on the streets of New York." Though erratic and undisciplined, Gibson impressed the doctors with her power and tenacity. The doctors concurred that Gibson would need polishing on the court as well as off court. "She's got good moves, but she seems to lose concentration occasionally," Eaton said. Fred Johnson, a one-armed pro, who taught at New York's Cosmopolitan Club, gave Gibson her first lesson in 1941 when she was 14. A year later, she won her first title, defeating Nina Irwin, a white girl, in the final of an ATA event. During the next few years, Gibson was the dominant junior girl on the ATA circuit. In 1944, the 17-year-old gifted athlete captured the ATA National Girls' single crown. In 1946, Cosmopolitan Club's supporters sent her to the ATA Nationals at Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio, where Whirlwind and Dr. Eaton watched her lose to Peters 6-4, 7-9, 6-3 in the final. The loss caused neither Whirlwind nor Eaton to waver in their belief that Gibson had a touch of greatness in her racket swing. Turning to Whirlwind, Eaton said, "What do you think we ought to do?" "I don't know," Whirlwind replied. Then Eaton offered his plan. "I tell you what, I don't have anybody to practice with down in Wilmington except Nat Jackson. If she's willing to come, if her mother gives her permission, I'll take her down to Wilmington to live with my family and let her finish high school. You keep her during the summer and see to it that she gets to the tournaments. I have a little different practice than yours. I do obstetrics and surgery. I can't be away for a long time like you can." Whirlwind said, "That sounds all right. I'll be willing to participate in something like that." The doctors then tossed the ball in Althea's court. Immediately after Althea got through playing, she was standing around talking to some people, Eaton said. "We went up to her and said, 'Althea, we want to talk to you as soon as you have a moment.' We told her that we had been watching her play, observing her for more than just that one time, and we thought she had excellent potentiality. But we had made some inquiries and found out that she wasn't in school. She would start school and then jump out. We told her we had made some plans to help her with her education and at the same time help her with her tennis. Are you interested? Who wouldn't be interested in a deal like that? Althea responded. Eaton, continuing the story, said the understanding was that she would go back to New York and have her mother write a letter, giving Althea permission to come and stay with my family. This she did, and I got the letter a few days before Althea arrived in Wilmington. Gibson, who was born on a cotton farm in Silver, South Carolina, on August 25th, 1927, moved with her family to New York when she was 3 years old. She spent her formative years growing up on the rugged streets of Harlem and made the transition from farm girl to city girl without missing a step. She excelled in baseball, basketball, even football. She was unbeatable in paddle tennis and was a stickball champion in the Police Athletic League. Former New York Mayor David Dinkins said Gibson was playing a smart, aggressive game of table tennis when he first met her in the mid-40s at a social club in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. I called her champ then, and to this very day, I call her champ, Dinkins said. A tough tomboy as a teen, she also had the instincts of a boxer and demeanor of a hustler. When not involved in tennis or team athletics, Althea spent most of her teenage years in pool halls and bowling alleys. Once she moved away from Harlem, she quickly learned that life with Dr. Eaton and Dr. Johnson would involve more than a change of scenery. After graduating from high school in Wilmington, North Carolina in 1949, Gibson attended Florida A&M University and finished with a degree in physical education. I know you Rattler fans like that. Insofar as the social graces were concerned, Althea's life with the two doctors was quite a learning experience. Neither Whirlwind nor Eaton tried to coach Gibson, but they frequently offered her tips on how to be a lady off the court. They taught her proper rules of etiquette and treated her like a family member, subject to the same rules of conduct and privileges as the doctor's children. At the end of each school year in Wilmington, Gibson went to Lynchburg to live with Whirlwind and his family. Beginning in July 1947, Gibson, Whirlwind, Robert Jr., and a few others spent the summer traveling the ATA circuit. They played in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey, and Kentucky. With a chance to practice and play nearly every day during the summers, Althea, who was 5 feet 11 inches tall, developed a strong serve and volley game. She had a powerful serve and nearly always dominated the net with slashing volleys. In her first year traveling the ATA circuit, she won 9 consecutive singles titles, including the ATA Women's Nationals. Her 6-3, 6-0 victory against Nana Davis in the final was the first of her still unequal two consecutive ATA national titles. I'm going to read that again. Her 6-3, 6-0 victory against Nana Davis in the final was the first of her still unequaled 10 consecutive ATA national titles. In his role as surrogate father and mentor, Whirlwind had good reason to be proud of Gibson's performances. He found her efforts to be even more pleasurable when he shared the court with her in mixed doubles competition. Gibson and Whirlwind, who was over 45 when they first became a doubles tandem, won numerous ATA mixed doubles titles, including the ATA national crown 7 times, 1948 through 1950, 1952 through 1955. Their matches, which were nearly always dominated by Gibson, became must-see events for youngsters as well as senior players. And I'm going to skip over a little to the end and go to this. Garrison, the 1990 Wimbledon runner-up who had reached a career-high number 4 in the world, visited Gibson at her home weeks before her death. Knowing that Althea Knowing what Althea had done allowed me to believe that as a player, I could do whatever I wanted to do, Garrison said. Venus and Serena Williams are able to make their mark because the times have changed. Venus, who like Gibson won back-to-back Wimbledon 2000 to 2001 and US Open 2000 to 2001 titles, said it would be foolish to forget Althea. Though her career was short, Gibson's impact as a pioneer continues to loom large. Politically, Althea's acceptance was crucial to my own, Ashe once said, Arthur Ashe. It made it easier for other Blacks to follow. The Williams sisters, Garrison, Lori McNeil, Shanda Rubin, and Leslie Allen are among about a dozen Black women who have followed Gibson on the women's pro circuit. It's so important that stories like Althea's be told so that folks will appreciate her accomplishments and those of others like her, Dinkins said. Youngsters need to understand that nobody gets anywhere alone. Everybody stands on somebody else's shoulders, and all the African-American players who came after her, including the Williams sisters, stood on her shoulders. When any Black achieves in any discipline, it helps everybody else. It's unfortunate that she never realized and reaped the rewards that she was due. Gibson repeatedly said that it would be foolish for her to forget the importance of the shoulders offered by Dr. Johnson and Dr. Eaton during her climb up to the top. After winning her first Wimbledon title in 1957, she sent telegrams to both of them. In her message to Whirlwind, she wrote, "Your faith, belief, and encouragement helped tremendously. This victory is partly yours." At the Wimbledon ball that night, she paid tribute to both doctors, saying, "I remember particularly Dr. Robert W. Johnson and Dr. Hubert A. Eaton. It was in Dr. Eaton's home while completing high school that I received love and encouragement. It was through Dr. Johnson's efforts and assistance that I was able to travel all over the United States and gain much needed experience." Gibson dedicated her first book, "I Always Wanted to Be Somebody," to her two benefactors. This is day 3 of the International Great Black Read Aloud Day. It is Sports Day, and our selection for the day is Whirlwind, The Godfather of Black Tennis. And it is the story of the life and times of Dr. Robert Walter Johnson, who had a significant role in the lives of 2 Black players, Arthur Ashe and Althea Gibson. And we read a selection for today. So obviously it is a recommendation that we say you need in your thing. This is a lot of history. And so we will see you tomorrow for the International Great Black Read Aloud Day. You can find out everything that you want to know about the International Great Black Read Aloud Day by subscribing to our website. And we are back. Yes, we had taken quite a bit of hiatus, not planned, but that is the way it worked out. But we are back for this month, and we plan to be back all the rest of the months this year doing something as we are giving voice to words written by Black people all around the world. So we ask that you join us tomorrow, choose a book, find out what's going on. You can follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.